Welcome back to LimQ Plus, everyone. On this channel, I'm 100%ing Breath of the Wild by a bit every day until Tears of the Kingdom comes out, which is today in 8 days. Yeah, we have to talk about something real quick, which is the fact that yesterday I was planning to pre-record a bunch of videos to be able to focus more on my old shrine speedrun. I wanted to pre-record videos where I finished the shrines, just talk, and I did. In fact, I recorded like 8 of them. And I finished all of the shrines. I saved after every single recorded episode, ended up going to the Forgotten Temple to pick up the Set of the Wild, which I have on right here, and wanted to, in the final episode, go and get the final memory and beat the game. The problem is that after I was done recording, I realized that the audio of every single episode was corrupted, and for some reason, game audio would play twice, making the videos essentially unwatchable. So now I'm here. I've done all of the shrines, and I have the Tunic of the Wild. Now, thankfully, my save file was still before I had gotten the final location and before I had gotten the final memory. So we will still get a good ending to this series, where we will once again watch the final memory and beat the game. But for the time being, while I'm recording these next episodes here, I probably will just drive around Hyrule with the motorcycle, do some wind bombs, and keep talking about these topics. That being said, it is what it is. Honestly, I hope you don't mind too much. At the end of the day, I was just going into shrines and doing wind bombs to solve them like you are used to. But that's okay. Little update. I will basically say this every single episode. I have left social media basically entirely. I left Twitter, muted my own Discord server. And I am essentially offline for the most part other than these videos, which is also why comments on this video are disabled, and this is because Tears of the Kingdom has leaked in its entirety, and I'm not reading any comments anyway. I made the mistake yesterday to read a comment, and somebody commented on one of my theory videos saying that I'm not even going to give you any information, just saying that I was either right or wrong in that video, and I was like, oh god, I can't even read those videos because I will essentially get confirmation on that stuff too. So if you're watching this video and you're avoiding spoilers, try to probably just not read any YouTube comments anywhere. That's what I've been doing, because even in my old videos, people will talk about things that I got right or wrong. Anyway, I wanted to make a video about Tears of the Kingdom today, not any leak-related stuff, but something that I've touched on in the past. Okay, thank you, Round Bomb. Something that I've touched on in the past, which is locations that I'm looking forward to visiting in the game. And my opinion on those have changed a little bit. And not due to leaks, but due to, essentially due to... Also, I don't know why this friends list is showing up. I did some changing around with my Nintendo account, trying to recover previous save files yesterday. And it did not work. So I guess I see you when people are playing. I think I can switch it up in the settings or something. I want to talk about my most the locations I'm most excited to visit in Tears of the Kingdom. In the past, I said, where am I going first? Hebra. Why did I say Hebra? It's because when I first played Breath of the Wild, I went to Hebra and Rito Village at the very end, and I ended up desperately regretting it. And that's because in Rito Village, you get not only the Great Eagle Bow, which is one of the best weapons in the entire game, but you also get Revali's Gale, which is, when you play casually, an extremely useful ability, right? When it's raining like this, you can use it to scale up mountains, skip out on some climbing, and it makes exploration much easier, and I really regretted not having it for basically most of my playthrough. So in my mind I was like, okay, this time I'm going to Hebra first. Now watch there be the most useless ability in Rito Village this time. And whatever is the most useful one, I'm gonna get last again. That could obviously happen, but we'll see. Now, of course, it might not actually play out that way. This is something in the back of my head. Once I play the game, I will definitely go to whatever location is the most interesting to me first, and not really follow that plan, like, specifically. But also, it's funny that I've literally just 100% of the game basically did everything. I've never picked up a single star fragment. But I guess that is something that can happen. Obviously, when I see points of interest and things that are interesting to me, I will go there. Like, that's obviously I'm going to be playing the game. But that being said, I will keep in the back of my head that yes, once I don't know where to go anymore, once I'm kind of like running out of ideas, I'll probably try to focus on eventually getting to the Hebra Mountains. into Rito Village, just because that's kind of what I've planned, and I want to kind of see what has changed in the mountains as well. The second location that I want to talk about, which is something that has become stronger for me, not only from reading comment sections in videos before, but also watching things like the previews, is the Gerudo Canyon. The Gerudo Canyon is quite empty, and let's actually head over there. Normally it's quite the empty location, but it has some very interesting stuff. I'm assuming some of you have seen Monster Mace's video about the 8 heroine statues, and the 8th one in particular. And not only that, but even the 7 heroine statues in Gerudo Town is really interesting to me. And for the same reason that I brought up about Hebra, I'm interested in Gerudo Canyon, because this is such an empty area. There's not much going on here. It feels basically like there's a lot of potential to hide interesting caves and interesting locations. So that's something I am excited about, that I do want to scout out. And additionally, I am even very interested in Gerudo Desert. Not only from the sinkholes and what's going on there. I kept talking about the fact that I want to see how dynamic these sinkholes are. Is the sand in the desert actually going to become less and less and potentially reveal new locations as it runs down? Which would be crazy, but I honestly don't think that's the case. That's something I want to see. And then a niche thing that I wanted to check out was the weapon. The weapon that Riju uses in the Tears of the Kingdom trailer, because she's dual wielding 2 like Gerudo scimitars. Dual wielding is something that I always wanted to have in this game. So if there's a way to somehow get that weapon, that would be great. Now I actually have no idea if you can get the champion weapons yourself. In this game obviously you could, but the only time we've seen the Great Eagle Bow in Tears of the Kingdom trailers was one with the mysterious Rito champion behind the Dragon Man, and the other time it was when Tulin was wielding it, so Link might not have access access to these weapons. In fact, and this is something I kept thinking about more and more, the only bow that we've really seen in the preview was the Construct Bow. A bow that deals 5 damage. And the item description mentioned that it was obtained by a Captain Construct, which seemed pretty strong from what I've seen before, and this is not again leaks, but there in the preview there was an item called a Captain Construct Horn, which looks like that construct that Nintendo had posted some time ago that's wielding a flamethrower and a bow. So I was wondering, okay, that bow power seems kind of low, right? It seems kind of low for being potentially wielded by a powerful looking enemy. So in my mind I was like, maybe the way they finally balanced bows in the game is by making them deal much less base damage, which kind of forces you to rely more on fusing items to it. I think that would be an amazing balance change. Not sure if that's what they ended up doing or if bows are as broken as ever. I'll see soon enough. Now, another location, basically another group of locations, which is pretty obvious to me, other than those 2 empty areas from the game, are mysterious Zonai areas from this game. We have a bunch of them. Obviously, the ones that everybody is thinking about are the mazes because they seem to be flying up in the air. The Spring of Courage and Farron in general, which we haven't seen much from in promotional material. And then the Thunder Plateau is something that I feel like almost never comes up, which I think is really interesting. Because when you first go to the Thunder Plateau, there's actually a textbook that describes to you how these orbs are related to spirits. And in my mind, that immediately sounded interesting. So that's something that I do want to check out. And then last but not least, when it comes to Zonai locations, people have always talked about it. The, what's the name of the location? Ketowawa is the shrine name. I lost it right now. I don't want to zoom in. Typhlo Ruins. Yeah, exactly. That has something really interesting going on. I don't know if I'm going to be able to show it to you because I don't know if I'll find it. But first of all, I wanted to show you this one again. I want to see how this location has changed. Maybe this island is now suddenly flying and it's probably going to tell us some stories about the Zonai. And these orbs were what people described as spirit orbs. Not spirit orbs, sorry, spirits. And whenever I looked at this symbol, it kind of reminded me of the blood moon. I guess it kind of looks like a sun, but like a blood sun, and then we have that swirl in the middle. So I'm very interested to see if this location is another interesting story to tell that we didn't know about before. There's another eye here, and this eye actually, if you think about it, looks a little bit like these dragon eyes. So really interested in revisiting this location. And last but not least, and this is really interesting, there was a mod back in the day that kind of made the darkness in Typhlo Ruins like it removed it. So you could actually go around and see. It's a very intricate zonai location compared to the other ones in the game without this darkness going on. But we've already seen from trailers that the darkness, may I even go as far as saying the gloom. Okay, no, that's obviously, I don't believe that gloom is just gonna be darkness in this form. I've already described before what I believe gloom is, which is that the new Malice is simply called gloom. Let me see if we can find this location. So I need to go north and then a little bit left. Because, again, what I thought was really interesting is that there's actually a very, very suspicious little mural in these Typhlo ruins that I guess you weren't really supposed to see because it's dark in here. But now it's no longer dark in here, which made me think that, oh, maybe now they want to show us this mural. It might also be reworked when we go there. This is definitely why that's interesting to me. Also, oh god. Oh, I think I know where I am. I remember this from the mod. This is like, yeah, this is like a little room with like a bunch of like pillars. Okay, let me see if I can figure this out. I think it's like, can I even see it? I think it's like more, it's like over here, I think. What I'm thinking about. Can I please climb up? I should be able to find a luminous stone. Because that's the centerpiece of what I wanted to talk about. I don't know if I'm going to be able to find it, by the way. Oh god, there's already the swamp. That's not right. Oh, there it is. It's gotta be here. Huh. I didn't know there's more swamp water. Okay, this is it. There is a luminous stone surrounded by 6 dragon heads. And obviously, given from what we've uncovered so far from theory crafting, this is a pretty interesting mural. Relating these ancient sages or people to dragons is something that a lot of us have already done. The same as many people have basically related this luminous stone here to something that contains a spirit. So maybe this is actually a zonai depiction of the sealing away of Ganondorf or something like that. And maybe Typhlo Ruins is gonna explain or gonna show us this in a better light. I think it would be weird if Typhlo Ruins was simply exactly the same, just like it would be lit up right now. Maybe they've done some changes. But this mural here in particular, again, I wish I could show it off a little bit more, but you see these dragon statues here surrounding the luminous stone very suspiciously. And this was actually just over here. This was actually the one location that's kind of uncovered. Almost like they wanted you to find this. Could be a completely different reference, but I thought this was interesting. And that's it for today. Tears of the Kingdom comes out in 8 days. Looks like we're gonna be re-recording these videos. I'm not gonna be doing a pre-recording now of all of the videos. I'm still gonna be doing them day by day. The reason I wanted that is to focus more on all shrines, but I'm not risking that again. I'm just recording them every single day like I originally planned. And then on the last day, we'll go out, watch the final memory, and beat Ganon. But that's it for today. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoy the rest of your week, and I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Peace.